What's going on, guys? I'm Simple Simon. I'm your comic book noob. Welcome to the Noob Rebirth, the show where a comic book noob talks comics. Say hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark.
How'd you like that intro?
I've got a bit of a head spin actually. Let me lean. Too much moonwalking.
Today's video is for my fellow noobs. Now, even though I am a comic book noob, I am 2 years into the game. It's just, I don't read enough.
2 years? You've been longer than 2 years.
It's been just over 2 years. I've been wanting to do this video for a while, and the reason I've been wanting to do it is because when you first get into the hobby, it's quite scary. It's quite a daunting experience to be able to just walk into a comic shop and know what you're doing, and know the lingo. I know when I first went to comic shops, I was terrified that people would talk to me and like ask me questions about comic books, and I'm just like, I don't know what to say, you know? I literally, it was scary.
I know, so because when I spoke to you, like...
Yeah, so if you guys are one of those people that are scared for people to approach you because you're new, don't come to Big City Comics because this guy will be all over you. You know, you'll help out, which not other many comic shops will actually do. But anyway, today's episode is comic book terminology for beginners. Let's do this. Alright guys, so we've got a bunch of words to get through. I just know that a lot of people, I guess, who have gotten into comics will actually ask me, what does this mean, what does this mean? So I just thought it'd be a good episode to do to teach people who are just getting into it. Yeah?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
I'm all about that, I'm all about education.
I'm going to take the first one, right? Because I know Mark's going to deny this right now, but a few months ago I said this term and you said, what's that? And I was like, you own one. And that is LCS.
I still don't know what that is.
Local comic shop. Local comic shop day. Those books that came out recently. This guy.
Okay.
So LCS is local comic shop. So that's the first one out of the way. I'll let Mark take the next one, and that is trade or trade paperback. Take it away, Mark.
A lot of people just say trade for short, but trade paperback is a book that's collected, that's a collection of usually 6 issues of a story arc from the a series from a floppy, which is probably that's probably one of the terms on there.
Oh, that's the next one.
Yeah.
But so I guess for people who are maybe new and they want to catch up on things like that, it's not easy to get older issues and things like that. So you can buy them in collections of 6 issues at a time, and you can read an entire story arc and things like that. So that is a trade paperback, or trade for short. And the next one is floppy, which you just mentioned. Get your minds out of the gutter. Explain what a floppy is.
A floppy is your monthly released comic books that are on the shelf every month. That is a floppy. So yeah, it's the term for the floppy. That's it.
Careful, careful. It's a nice prison cover. I refer to them as a single issue.
Single issue, yeah, you can say single issue.
I'll take the next one. The next one is variant.
So a variant.
So a variant cover, when they release a floppy or a single issue, there will be multiple versions of the cover.
Big expert, yeah.
That's right.
Loves the variant.
But there's not just, so they normally will at very least have a cover A, which is a regular cover, and then a cover B, and some books will have a cover C, D, and so on.
Anything with rope.
But it's a massive market now, the variant cover.
Yeah, well, I've said before in other videos where it's the artist has never been more center stage than now.
So you can get shop exclusive variants as well as artist exclusive variants where you can't buy them at Big City Comics. You've got to go directly to a specific comic shop,
websites,
maybe online, the artist directly,
website,
and
the artist website, yeah,
and things like that. So that is variant covers, and for people who love art, it's really hurtful on the wallet.
It is, and especially when you can't even get it in Australia sometimes.
The next one I'll let you take is a virgin variant.
A virgin variant has no trade dress. That's another word for it.
I didn't put trade dress. So explain the trade dress and virgin variant.
So this has got a trade dress. It's got the name of the title. It's got the issue number. It's got the, you know, maybe sometimes they don't have the price. Sometimes the price is on the back. But that's what you call a trade dress.
Trade dress is normally the title.
Yeah, that's what I call a trade dress. But you can get a book, you can get something like this, and it has no trade dress.
So yeah, a virgin is basically just the art itself, with no title, nothing like that. It's just the art. So
the art, correct.
Again, people who are big cover collectors love a good virgin.
Correct. I'm not going to say. I'm not going there. I'm not going there. I already used the word dildo.
I didn't say anything. The next one is cover by.
Cover by. You buy the comic book purely on the art on the cover. So you don't care what's inside. And I think you should be talking about this because you do this a lot.
I do this a lot. I also, when books will release multiple covers, so again, multiple variants, I often will buy all 3 or 4 of them just
Correct.
because I have nothing else better to do with my money. The next one is slab. What's a slab comic, Mark?
A slab comic is when you, it's a popular term now, it's a popular thing to do to your comics that you want graded and put into a airtight container, flat packed container, usually plastic, with a grading on it. That's the best way I could describe it. Can you add to that?
Not really. So basically, I guess people like it because it's a good way to preserve the book because it's sealed and
Preserve the book, that's a good term. I like that term. I haven't got any to show here.
Do you have any?
No, I don't.
You don't have any
No,
slab?
I don't really.
Yeah, I'm not really a slab guy, but I bought 3 in the last week.
There you go. I'm not really a slab guy, but I just bought, 3 in the last week.
Some people love their books graded, some people are not about graded books at all. What's an unslabbed book called, Mark?
I have no idea.
It's called
It's an unslabbed book, isn't that what it's called?
No, they call it a raw book.
A raw book.
Another very adult word. Raw. With the grading companies, there's obviously the big one, which is CGC.
Yeah.
Then you got CBCS.
There is. Oh, well, CGC is the only one I've heard of.
No, really?
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Mate, who's the noob now? CGC is the big one. There's also CBCS, who are probably the second biggest. Then you got PGX. Australia have their own grading company. Halo.
It's in Brisbane. That's the only thing I know.
And I've got a video coming out where I'm going to compare all the slabs because I actually own one of each of those 4.
Oh,
yeah, that's why I've been buying. That's why
he's been buying him.
Yeah.
Ah.
Next one is bags and boards.
Bags and boards.
What is it if someone's bagging and boarding? What are they doing?
Well, they're grabbing their raw comic and putting it inside a bag and then putting a board behind it. You want to tell them the reason?
It keeps them, I guess, just in better condition. Obviously, the board is going to help support the book. If you keep your
yes, perfect. Yes, perfect. So that's the word you want for. You want to preserve the board. You want to preserve it in something like this. You got the bag and the board. In the 80s and 70s, they were using like newspaper paper, and it went yellow really quickly. And so putting it in acid-free bags would prevent that. Yeah, and what I love about these bags these days, they're like ultraviolet protection, so even if it sits in the sun or sits in light, it gives it less fading.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, a comic book like this, this is probably not a good example because Boom do really good quality covers, like good stock covers. Whereas I'm not bagging on anyone. Don't get me wrong, because everyone has to run their business the way they feel. No pun intended. Yeah. No pun intended. And everyone has to run their business the way they feel like. Like the Marvel paper and stock is really poor, and so if you were to put them in a box and store them away, they would bend over time, and that's what the cardboard prevents.
Now, even stacking your comics without a bag and board is really not good for them.
Yeah, because they tend to curl like
this. And what's that called when you get the little thing here?
Spine curl.
Spine roll.
Spine roll.
This next one is very, very important, but I know you were very heavily on trying to get me onto one of these, and that is a pull list, or also known as
standing order.
Standing order.
A standing order is just a way for you to guarantee your customer gets that issue.
Unless you shop at Alternate Worlds. So why is it important to have a standing order or pull list with your LCS?
It's the lifeblood of the comic book shop. I and everyone else relies on their pull list because the reason why, financially, we rely on it financially. The reason why is because comics come in every week. If there's a week that we miss out, it hurts us. And even though, the people will come in and eventually pick up that pull list, but for that week, it still hurts us. We bank on that pull list. on that customer who has that standing order. And you know, and it works both ways. Now you're guaranteed to get that issue.
Exactly. So I guess what I was going to say is, I used to like coming into just random comic shops and just seeing what I could get. The thing that made me eventually start a pull list / standing order was that I was starting to come in on a week and want a specific book, and for some reason I didn't know any better back then. It was like a hot book for the week, and I'd miss out. If you have a standing order, your LCS shop will have that book for you because you've ordered it.
Yes, 100%. You know,
unless you shop at Alternate Worlds. What is an FOC, Mark?
Final order cutoff. In the initial order, we put in a quantity that we want. You know, we go through our standing order lists. Everyone's got a different process, but you just put in your numbers, and then a month before the book is released, you get another chance to adjust your quantities up or down. You know, or order something that you previously didn't order in the initial order. You know, and that's due every month. Every week, sorry, every week. The initial one is every month. So
I forget to put them in sometimes.
Yeah, and everyone forgets. And I always say, don't stress now, because there's always a FOC. Like, people shouldn't stress about too much about the putting in their order for in the initial end of month order, because you can always order them after the fact. But the longer you leave it, you know, the closer it comes to release date, the harder it is to get.
The next one I'll take, NCBD.
Have no idea. You take that one.
You know what it is.
No,
it's
I don't.
New Comic Book Day, which has always traditionally been on
Wednesday. New Comic Book Wednesday.
New Comic Book Wednesdays. Okay. Same thing.
Same thing. Oh, that's what I call it.
Next one is one shot. It's a one shot, no?
A single issue with no other stories tied to them.
A single issue story.
A single issue story with no like part 1 or part 2. It's just one story.
The next one is a mini series or maxi series.
Maxi series is usually 12 issue story arc, but within its own series, not within the continuity
of the ongoing series.
Yeah, so still in the universe, but not in the continuity. But it's still canon. That's a maxi series, 12 issues, and 6 issues is the mini series.
6 issues or less, right?
Yeah.
But I guess these days I very rarely hear the term maxi series. I feel like most people just call them minis now. Next one. Now this one I learned from you, so I'll let you take this one away. Corner box. So this is what a corner box is. So these days they're quite boring and plain. But I know you're a big fan of the old corner box.
I am, man. So this is a Spider-Man corner box. This is the usual one that Spider-Man used a lot. And then in the 80s they used that one. You know, so they changed a lot for Marvel. They love their corner box, and I like them too, man. A little bit of art for the corner box. I based my logo on the corner box.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug, yes, shameless.
The next one is a key issue or a key.
A key issue is like an issue of a floppy where someone dies, someone is introduced. First appearance, a new comic, a villain is introduced. Any type of first appearance.
It's essentially
even a cover appearance. You know, number 1 is a key issue, and even a number 2 in some cases are key issues.
It's essentially an issue with some sort of importance to the history of the story or a character. So first appearances are probably the most sought after key issues, but then it can also be something maybe like, for example, the first time this character has done this.
Correct.
Or the first time,
100%.
First appearance of Jason Todd as Robin.
Correct.
And then as Red Hood, and then things like that.
First kiss between Batman and Catwoman. You know, and
what issue is that? I need that one.
Really?
Yeah.
It's in Hush, because you haven't read Hush.
Their first kiss is in Hush?
Yes. It's in that story arc, which you haven't read. And you know what he hasn't read either? Under the Red Hood. This guy has not read Under the Red Hood. The cat's out of the bag, mate. It's out of the bag.
Hey,
shame on you.
I jumped straight into the modern stuff, alright? So
this guy colours his hair red. Look at him, and he loves Red Hood. He hasn't even read Under the Red Hood. Hit him up in the comments how shameful that is. Do it.
Next one is back issues.
You go.
So back issue is basically like the older issues. So if you're maybe collecting, if you've just started collecting and you're in the middle of a run, it's maybe say issue 50. The back issues would be everything before that, or if most people would refer to it more as like the older books. Like if you've just gone to comics and you're going to collect older stuff, they're all considered back issues, right?
Correct.
I think when you're new to comics, it's very scary to go bin diving into those back issues because you have no idea what
It's a deep, dark hole.
It takes you a long time to really understand it all.
My advice would be to hit like a character that you like and read some, like read an arc. And if you want to collect that, then stick with that first. Don't spread yourself too thin.
The last one for the day is Omnibus. This is an omnibus. I would explain it as a big ass book.
A big ass book.
But
If
it's
you drop that on your foot, or if you get mugged, that's what I'd be using to hit someone over the head. So Omnibus is an absolute full collection of everything released under that heading. If you want to read a whole collection instead of running around looking for every issue, then the omnibus is for you. And there's a lot of different omnibuses. Yeah, not all of them are expensive. Not all of them are hardcover. Some of them are smaller. Some of them are soft cover. And that's another term: hardcover and soft cover, which you didn't cover. So this is really heavy, you know. So Omnibus has everything, even the side stories, the mini-series, everything to do with that character in line, in canon, in story, in order of reading order. It's very, very good.
And that's all we got for you today, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. And hopefully, if you're new to comics, we helped you out a little bit. Miss anything, Mark?
Did we?
I don't know, probably. Let us know in the comments if there's anything we missed. And make sure, again, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up.
Yeah, and if you want us to talk about something that you want to know about, let us know. He's struggling for ideas, to be honest.
Grey Man gave me a good one last week. I just think you'd struggle with it, so.
Oh!
It's a challenge.
Challenge accepted.
Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, say bye, Mark.
Bye, Mark!
Keep it simple. So I'm going to be 1, 2, and then you moonwalk in. And then you spin, and then boom. He said you need to work out where you're too close to the social distancing, mate. Ready?
What are you doing your fucking intros?
Beautiful.
Thank God!
Now let's see if we can do that again.
Ah! I like your comic book.
This guy was just like, what's LCS? I was like, you own one.
I don't have one, I wouldn't have one. Let me get some props, I'll pull out a dildo. Like this. And then hide it. Or have, here's a prop. But obviously can't do that.
Why do you have dildos, Mark?